So Roy, what is happening on the channel today, mate?
Well, good morning, Sam. And it's funny you should ask that because today, what I'm going to be doing on the channel, I'm going to be doing a response to a tag video that Sam indeed tagged me on, and I feel like I've made it now in the YouTube world that somebody's tagged me in one of these videos for my response. And what the tag is, it is, what is your favourite film genre? And I'd like to just, again, thanks Sam very much for tagging me in this. And like I say, it's the first time it's ever happened, so I'm quite chuffed, to be honest. And it's a great question, and a question I thought long and hard about it because I like most genres. Very few I don't like. I'm not keen on comedy, as you can tell, because I'm a miserable git. Um, Animation, not keen on it. It's cartoons, if you ask me. Fantasy, Lord of the Rings, that sort of stuff. No, it's not for me. But most other stuff, dramas, horrors, action films, crime, sci-fi. Don't mind a romance. I like most films. War, westerns, like them all. If you watch my weekly watches, I'm sure you'll find very eclectic what I do watch. So I did think long and hard, and I've came up with an answer. And if this black and white video and the hat maybe gives you some sort of clue, my favourite is film noir. Now this will be a very short video, I think. I don't think I can manage to talk about half hour like Sam did about dramas. Instead, I put Sam's details down below. Go and follow Sam. You probably already know. Yeah, Sam does like to rattle on a bit. Yeah, it would be half an hour, nowhere near as long. Yeah, film noir. It's only a genre really I've become au fait with probably the last few years when I've grown older and your tastes change as you get older. I've found that I watch films now that I wouldn't have dreamt of watching years ago, and I love my film noir now. Uh, I've gone for a film noir look, but I think it's more granddad out of Only Fools and Horses, to be honest. But there you go. I've tried. Now, film noir. What is film noir? Some of you might ask, because it's not something that everybody's into. It is basically stylized Hollywood crime films, most notably from the 30s, from the 40s and the 50s, and they're usually sort of a low key black and white cinematography that took roots from the 30s German expressionism cinema, and the attitudes are just brilliant in my. They're usually crime films, and they took root from these pulpy novels that become popular in America, mainly in the 30s, in the Great Depression. I suppose people wanted something to take their mind off what was going on in the world, so they divulged in these crime novels and Western novels as well. I think there's a great rise in Western novels because of the same reason. And there's a lot of tropes of film noir. Uh, there's usually a hard-bitten, world-weary detective who never without a cigarette, always has a glass of whiskey on the go. It always surprises me in this period how people got much work done, because whenever you see them get into the office, the first thing they do is pour a stiff whiskey. Uh, I'd have been a kit by 10 o'clock in the morning myself. There's usually a murder. There's heists and crime involved. But I think my favourite trope of film noir are the femme fatales. Now, these are beautiful, seductive women, but be careful. You want a dame like this on your arm, but they're usually going to get you involved in crime and backstabbing, philanthropy, cheating on husbands, and all. These are dangerous women. You steer clear, and they're usually at the root of all these problems in the film noir. They're so magnetic to watch because you know what they're up to. And there's always the guy that falls for it hook, line, and sinker every time. Femme Fatale was a lot of brilliant actresses. Veronica Lake, Jean Tierney, Lana Turner, Gloria Graham was one of my favourites. Ava Gardner, Elizabeth Scott. And one of my favourite actresses of all time, Marlene Dietrich. Always wonderful. And I think the 40s and the 50s, I just think it's a great period as well. The men were always dressed smartly, always had a nice hat like myself. Always shirt and tie and nice trousers and shoes, a pair of spats. And the ladies were always well turned out, nice dresses, not like today, ripped jeans and t-shirts. And apart from all the things I've just listed that will go wrong, I think it might have been an interesting period to have lived in. And if I could invent a time machine, I'd like to go back there and see what it was like in real life. So yeah, film noir, that's my favourite genre, and I'll just go through just a few of the films that I do like, and maybe if it's something that you'd like to get into yourselves, maybe I could give you some pointers. I've got a little stack here of ones I've just pulled off the shelf at random. So let's have a look. First of all, Billy Wilder's The Lost Weekend, a study of one guy's falling off the world due to alcohol, and for its time it must have been quite an incredible film because it pulls no punches at how bad alcohol can be for you. And at a time, like I say, when you got to the office and poured yourself a stiff one, it must have been quite the revelation of a film when it first came out. Next up, I've got Key Largo, Lauren Bacall, Humphrey Bogart, Edward G. Robinson. And Edward G. Robinson is horrible git as a crime boss in this one. Does a wonderful job as Edward G. Robinson usually do. And Bogey, wonderful actor that he was. Awesome film, that one. This is one of my favourite films. Joan Crawford, Mildred Pierce. Look at how far you'd go to cover up for your children when they've done something. And Joan Crawford's daughter in this is absolutely horrible character that makes you skittish. She's that bad. Just come out on 4K. I bought the Criterion after having a DVD for years, and yeah, what they do then, they bring out the 4K, of course they do. But yeah, wonderful Mildred Pierce. Gun Crazy, Peggy Cummins, what's the guy's name? John Doe. Peggy Cummins, brilliant femme fatale in this, gets John Doe involved in a life of crime, and it ends up as a Lovers on the Run film, which is another sort of subgenre I really like. I love like Lovers on the Run. This cat's just come in. All right, puss, don't knock over the camera. Yeah, hello. Sit down. Never work with kids and animals. Where was I? Yeah, Lovers on the Run. Another great genre that I enjoy. Another Edward G. Robinson, Joan Bennett, The Great Fitz Lang, The Woman in the Window. Again, femme fatale. Watch out for them, guys. Another one about a guy who works in the newspapers, and that leads to the usual the usual tropes of film noir with the femme fatale, crime and all sorts. Burt Lancaster, Tony Curtis, The Sweet Smell of Success. Again, wonderful film, as all these films are. Fritz Lang, The Big Heat. Gloria Graham, one of the top femme fatales. Glenn Ford, Jocelyn Brando, who was Marlon's sister, I believe. It's also got Lee Marvin in this, and he is another horrible character. Just something really bad to Gloria Graham. Oh, just made me cringe when it happened. Yeah, wonderful film. This is probably a film with one of the most ultimate femme fatale performances. Rita Hayworth in Gilda. Now, if you see the Shawshank Redemption, Andy Dufresne in that, the character, he has a picture of Rita Hayworth on his prison cell, and that is from the film Gilda. Again, another wonderful film. Mr. Kubrick enters the scene with The Killing. Wonderful heist film. Again, another femme fatale. Just watch out for him. Brilliant film. Underrated Kubrick. If you haven't seen that, give it a go because it's wonderful. All about heist on a horse racing track. Billy Wilder again, and maybe my favourite film noir, Double Indemnity. Fred McMurray, Barbara Stanwyck. They're planning to kill Barbara Stanwyck's husband and cashing in the insurance. Wonderful film. And again, Gloria Swindon. Name's gone out. Gloria Swanson. Name went out of my head. As Norma Desmond, iconic character. Sunset Boulevard. Brilliant films. Yeah, I could recommend all them films. Give them a watch because they're just brilliant. Yep, so that's my favourite genre, after much soul searching, film noir. Now, as with these tag videos, now it becomes my responsibility to pass this tag on to two of you folks out there, and it's gonna have to be James, Movie Mad. I've got a feeling I'm gonna know what his is, and it probably would be one of my favourites. I think James would do a good video, and I'm gonna go for Alan Kermit's Ghost. I know he's a busy man. He's always in the comments, never fails, and again, he watches a wide amount of films, so I'd be interested in seeing what his favourite trope is. Yeah, so Alan, James, no pressure, but if you want to get involved, get involved. I quite enjoyed making this. Thanks again, Sam. I'll again put his link below. Give him a follow. He's an awesome guy, as you all know. You all take care. Give us a thumbs up if you like this today. Maybe think about subscribing. And I'll catch you all on the flip side. Ta-ra.